Yay! Good wherever you are to you, day, morning, afternoon. We have people from all over the world doing this challenge. And I know that we're starting a little bit early, but I want to make sure everything was squared away so we could indulge ourselves in this time that we have together right now with the one and only Mr. Adam Markel. Look at his face. He I absolutely love it.
I'm
So
thinking, thank God there's only one of me. That's what I was thinking.
thank God there's only one of me. All right, guys. So I have, as you know, my handy dandy phones. I love seeing you guys comment and respond. And gonna go ahead and get started, waiting for you all to jump on and see that we're live. And while we're doing that, I wanted to just kind of reflect on what we've been talking about today, which is a conversation around self love. And as promised, I thought, I wanted to just be raw and real with you guys and come on and just have a heartfelt, honest conversation around this topic and really my own journey. So, to kick us off, I'm going to ask a question. Do you ever feel shame, guilt, lack of trust in yourself around money? Do any of those apply? Because here's what I know I do. I'll be the first to raise my hand and say, I do, I have, I still do. Adam's raising his hand. And I know, I want us to have like this, it's okay conversation right now. So we're going to lead. I'm going to start by putting myself at the front of the line and letting you know, here I am, just like you. And gonna again just double check Facebook, make sure that you guys are on and you're watching and we're sharing because I want to make sure that everyone really heard that question. So again, if you're just joining us, I know that some of you are watching the replay because we had this a little bit late and you're watching the replay. Please comment, please let us know. So again, I'm going to ask the question, do you ever feel any of these? Shame, guilt, lack of trust, maybe even blame. I know I've been there, blamed myself about decisions I've made in the past around money. And if that's you, I just want you to know you're in a safe space. You're here with others just like you, myself included, right? Front of the line.
Me too.
So you can see this incredible guy on here with me. And I have to tell you, there's a little backstory. So I'll make it really quick because I didn't really realize who Adam was until we had a phone conversation. He asked me what Facebook groups I had. He went and joined them. And Diane, my business partner, called me up frantic on the phone saying, oh my God, you'll not believe who just joined our group. I'm like, who? I'm so excited to know who just joined our group. What got Diane this excited? And those of you that know Diane know nothing makes her starstruck, right? So I'm thinking the Queen, Oprah, like somebody came and joined our Facebook group, She's like, Adam Markel. I'm like, oh yeah, I just spoke to him on the phone. She says, do you know who that is? And obviously, I must be the only person on the planet who did not know. Several of you have responded to emails. You've been posting on Facebook all week long because you yourselves know Adam from Millionaire Mind and his involvement in that incredible, like world-class transformational company. But to me, Adam's my mentor. And so I'm kind of happy that I never got all the fanfare. I just met this incredible guy and he agreed to be my mentor. And like I said to you guys yesterday, when you are ready for a guide, they show up. And that's the way I feel about Adam. So he's an attorney, a serial entrepreneur, very, very successful entrepreneur. He now coaches people, in the transformational space. But the thing that I love about Adam is that his ability to combine all that strategic, serious stuff, spirituality, and psychology. And to me, that's like check, 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 awesome. So I I'm just delighted to be able to share him with you tonight and for us to engage in this heartfelt conversation. So I'm going to ask, and you'll see him doing that a lot, which let me just tell you, the name of his new company is Big Love Media. I mean, can he get any more perfect? Really? Big Love Media. I love it. And look at his shirt. And so yeah, I'm just excited to be able to share Adam with you tonight. So let's get down to me sharing with you through my experience, an experience that I had with Adam. So we were in a coaching session, and I was sharing with Adam, I'm observing myself in this pattern behavior that I can't understand. It truly doesn't make sense to me. I teach this stuff, I practice it religiously. I'm at the top of my game when it comes to money. But here I was with a thriving business, doing really well, saying all the right things, preaching the words to everyone else, and then observing my little, oops, Tasha, what's going on there? And so I'm sharing this with Adam, and here's what it was. I was not paying myself. I was not paying myself, and I hadn't paid myself. There would be times where it'd be 2 months. Diane would be constantly, pay yourself, pay yourself. And here's the thing, guys. It wasn't that I wasn't paying myself because the funds weren't there. They were absolutely there. I just wasn't writing myself the check. And I couldn't understand what was that about? Why was I doing that? So I'm sharing with Adam, and I would even proudly say, and oh, I don't check the bank account. And I'd be really proud about that BS, really proud, thinking it's a good thing, right? So I'm showing off kind of to Adam. Oh yeah, So here's the thing. I know there's something, but I'm not sure. I don't think it's bad. I'm not sure what's really going on. And he says to me, Tasha, you are in a self trust pattern. And it went, psh. So now I start digging. What does that mean? What's going on? What's happening, right? Because you guys, I share all the time. I might not be perfect, but I'm committed. I am absolutely committed to living the most amazing Tasha life that I can. So I start digging when my mentor says to me, you're in a pattern of, lack of self-trust. And what I realize is this pattern was rooted in blame, guilt, self trust, shame, a lot of shame. And there was a lot of things that went all the way back. But the most recent for me was having to file bankruptcy. Having to file bankruptcy carried a lot of shame for me. And it also carried a lot of lack of self trust. Could I ever trust myself again with money? So in this conversation, you can imagine I am weeping like a baby because when you come face to face with your truth, like we said earlier today, when you come face to face with the truth and the blocks, there's no hiding from it. You tend to get emotional and raw. And so Adam said in that conversation to me, Tasha, self-trust is rooted in self-love. I'm going to ask you guys to type that. Self-trust is rooted in self-love. I couldn't trust myself with money without understanding how to love myself. So Adam, I think I set it up really great for you. I want you
couldn't have teed it up
and share anything from our coaching that you saw that could be, of value to the greater good and everyone watching, and just whatever's on your heart tonight. I trust you.
Thank you, love. And you couldn't have teed it up any better than that. And I can't help but say this too. You're just gorgeous, and I'm sure there's lots of people. If you are just so enjoying this woman's presence, I mean, not physical alone, just her complete presence, the parts that you can see and the parts that you could just feel, then go ahead and type in below something like, I don't know, Bella, gorgeous, brilliant, amazing. Because it's true, because that's exactly who you are. And that's who we all are. That's the truth. So it's not just you, it's all of us.
Yes.
But we're not always ready at some point in time, various times in our life, to own that, to appreciate that about ourselves. Things that we appreciate and value. I'll say that again. Things that we appreciate in value. I love that quote from Marianne Williamson's book, a return to love. Reflections on A Course in Miracles, where she talks about, who are you? She asked that question, who are you to be talented, fabulous, gorgeous? Actually, who are you not to be? That really is the question. So what I wanted to do tonight in the little bit of time that we've got here is just sort of set up the sequence, meaning the order of things, the dominoes, if you will, that take us to the place where you can actually attract, all of us can attract more abundance, more prosperity. One of the things that I'm known for, in addition to having run Peak Potentials for many years and having spoken all over the world, is this book behind me, Pivot, The Art and Science of Reinventing Your Career and Life. There, that book right there.
Good one.
So pivoting is just a change. It's a small change in direction. And I love the law of small differences, that when we make small changes, we can see profound impact as a result of that. That's what the butterfly effect is, in essence. So this is a small change in our awareness that we're looking to create now in the area of prosperity. How is it that we can actually invite more prosperity and abundance into our lives? Well, my position would be that you can learn and become aware of how the universe sees us. So the universe already knows just how perfect we are. And the only difference between a person who's getting a lot of abundance from the universe and someone who isn't is that in one case, the universe trusts that person. And in the other case, the universe maybe not so much. So I want to start with a story, and then I want to give you the sequence. So I want you to imagine that, of course, we live in this abundant and generous and beautiful universe, and we are all just reflections of that. So can all get that? Yes? Everybody's
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
perfect. Good.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So that's the paradigm. We walk into an ice cream store with a young child. Just think of yourself, and you're holding this child's hand, and you walk into the ice cream parlor, and the ice cream, the child like points to the ice cream, and of course, being the generous and abundant person you are, you get the kid that ice cream cone. Yes? I hope the answer is absolutely yes. So the kid gets the ice cream cone and is walking out, and I don't know what it is about these ice cream parlors. Maybe it's the ones that I've been to, but they always seem to have one of those heavy swinging doors, you know?
Yes.
So this poor kid is walking out the door, and this big heavy door swings and hits the kid's elbow and knocks the ice cream cone on the floor. So now, of course, the ice cream's on the floor. The kid's about ready to cry, and being the abundant, the generous person that you are, you're going to bring that kid back into the ice cream store and get them a new cone. Yes, I hope yes.
Yes, yes.
Awesome. You're answering for everybody. It's perfect. But this time, that child walks in and sees something that he or she didn't see the first time. And that is the sign for the triple scooper. The triple scooper. So I want you to imagine that this little child is like, teeny tiny kid is looking up and sees the sign for the triple scooper. I want the triple scooper. I want the triple scooper. And being the kind and generous and loving and abundant person that you are, you're going to get the kid the triple scooper. Yes?
Yes.
Come on, Tasha.
I'm responding for all of you. Yes, we are getting
No! I'm just blasting somebody's ears. No!
No!
No! No, no, no! Why on earth would you get the kid the triple scooper when they couldn't handle one scoop? This is the way the universe works. You see, the universe does not set us up for failure. It is a loving and kind and forgiving universe. It never sets us up to fail. So this is like this kid holding on to one scoop. That's the deal, right? So many of us are asking, like that child, asking the universe for more. Give me more. I want a bigger house. I want a bigger car. I want a better business. I want to earn more money. I want to earn $1 million, right? And it's like that same child. You got 3 scoops of ice cream just dripping down your arm, making a huge mess of things. But you have the audacity to ask the universe, give me more.
Wow.
Not the way it works. The universe sets us up for success. So it's that old expression that comes from the big book, the Bible, right? To he who have more shall be given. And that's the point of it. It's not a question of the haves and have-nots. It's not cruelty as it might feel. It's that the person who has more already has been able to cultivate that abundance, that is working with and handling what they've got, is responsible for what they already have. then more is given. The same goes for peace. To he or she who have peace, more shall be given. It's the law of attraction. To he or she who hath harmony, more harmony shall be given. So we just keep attracting that which we have and that we take care of. So now let's come back to trust, because again, it's that ice cream cone. When we can handle, I want your folks to say this, because I'm going to say this too, because it's a great reminder. When you can handle what you've got, more shall be given. So you can say, when I can handle what I've got,
when I can handle what I've got,
more shall be given.
Shall be given. Wow.
Now let's go to trust, because the sequence of this, and this is where you and I, in our conversation that day, and I want to say too, because maybe people would pass by this quickly, but first of all, you were so vulnerable and so transparent with me. So before the vulnerability came the transparency. You were so honest with me. You were so honest with yourself that you became transparent, authentic. And in that moment, not only did I knew exactly how to serve you, but you were able to take that information and utilize it right away. And that all flowed out of your willingness to just be honest and be transparent. So I want to say thank you for doing that. And also beyond that, for being a model for that for your community, because clearly, look what you did. You turned that around and said, how can I use this and serve my folks? So to me, that is the example of what a mentor is about. That's the example of somebody people ought to want to follow. So you already have a beautiful community and they know why they want to follow you. But I'm just sort of putting an exclamation point on it, that this is the reason, because you are somebody who is congruent. You eat the cooking, literally. And so this is a beautiful place for us to look at. Creating self-trust doesn't start with, hey, I want to trust myself more. It just doesn't work like that, because as you said, we go back to our histories, and those are usually in that early stage in life, sometimes even when we're 4 or 5 or 6 years old, and we learn about shame. We learn about judgment, self-judgment. We learn about all those things that you brought up before, about our sense of worthiness. And so we don't go back and say, well, I got to learn to trust myself more. What we have to go back to do is, what's the smallest domino in the sequence that leads to self-trust? So that tiniest of things that everybody can do. And I love this, because to me, when something is simple, it's usable. If it's complicated, it might be intellectually interesting, but not necessarily something that will change our lives. So this simple thing is called self-care. So the first domino in the series is self-care, because self-care informs us about ourselves. It leads to self-love. Self-care leads to self-love, and self-love leads to self-trust. And when we trust ourselves, the universe trusts us. And not only does the universe trust us, but every expression of the universe, which is all the other divine beings, everything that's in creation, becomes something that is more apt to trust us, because now we trust ourselves. So it's that example all over again, only now you're holding that ice cream cone and you go, I trust myself. I trust myself. I trust the universe. I trust myself. And it doesn't take long before one scoop just turns into, oh, give me a half a scoop or more, give me 2 scoops. I can handle 2 scoops. I trust myself. I trust the universe. Then there's a time when a triple scooper is nothing. It's nothing. But the sequence, these dominoes that tip into self-trust start with self-care. So to me, I wear this shirt that says, I love my life, because it's become a part of this ritual for recovery, or a ritual for resilience, because I'm a firm believer that in the world that we live in, more and more, we have to be resilient. I mean, it's one of the greatest character traits, or I guess it's really how our species has survived all these many thousands of years, is that we are resilient beings. Now, the world is moving faster and faster all the time. There's just more that has us exhausted. There's more that has us doing, and even more that's disrupting our daily doings. And so for us to be resilient is so vitally important. And to develop that resilience it starts with self-care. So the beautiful thing about starting by doing the counterintuitive thing, which is to do something for yourself, and to sort of deal with that whole issue. And men have this issue, and many women have this issue as well, that they see self-care as selfish. So
Yeah.
what's one thing, since you're in this group and people are commenting, what's one thing that you can do today to show yourself self-care? Whether it's to go, leave work at the time you planned on leaving work, which is in time to get home for dinner, or maybe tonight it's to eat something, that you actually take care of yourself by what you cook for yourself, or it's to get that good night's sleep that your body is so craving, that 8 or 9 hours. And tonight you're going to get in bed by 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock so that you can be sleeping in time to get that good night's sleep. Whatever it is, it might be to sit down tonight and do some of the work, to review some of the work that folks have been doing with you. Maybe it's to meditate. Maybe it's to read something that's inspiring. Maybe it's to take a bath and put the Epsom salts in and just soak. What's that one thing that you can do tonight, that little baby step on that road to abundance, on that road to prosperity? We have to pivot. We have to pivot sometimes by taking a small new step, a change in the direction. What's something that you can do tonight to embody self-care so that you can maybe feel this way about yourself? And I know it's extreme to say, I love my life. I wake up every morning and there's 3 things that I do to start the day. Like, this isn't a morning ritual. This is a waking ritual. I wake up. That's the first thing. So I'm going to even test this out with you and with your group, right? So are you willing to wake up tomorrow, Tasha?
Yes, I'm willing to wake up tomorrow, Adam. Yes.
Is everybody willing to do that? I hope everybody says, yes, I'm willing to wake up. And here's the caveat to that, which is that we want to wake ourselves up a little bit more. I think people that are doing this 5-day challenge with you is so wonderful, because part of what's happening in this challenge is they're waking themselves up a little more, as in they're becoming a little more conscious, a little bit more aware. And if we're a little more aware and awake and conscious today than we were yesterday, I feel like the trajectory is good. I mean, life can be challenging and all that, I get, but man, you're on the right trajectory if you just every day a little more awake and aware than you were the day before. So the first step in this waking ritual is just to wake up. And that's good. In that moment, when you are taking that first more conscious breath of the morning, that first breath, that waking breath, you can be aware of the fact that in that very same moment, there are people who are taking their very last breath. Mm. And that is a sacred moment. It's holy. It deserves the acknowledgement of your gratitude. And that's what I tell myself in the morning, that in that moment where I'm going to take that breath, and maybe there's a busy day ahead. Maybe there's a day filled with things I'm loving. Maybe there's a day filled with some things things that I might not love, including the unexpected. I'm not a big fan of I'm not a big fan of the unknown. It's my dirty little secret, okay? But in that moment, you get to acknowledge the fact that it is special and it is purposeful that you were given another day. A friend of mine, Dr. Michael Beckwith, we had a podcast about this a couple of months ago. We talk about that everybody has an assignment. And sometimes that first moment of waking in the morning, that 10 seconds of being aware that you have been given another day and that there's no accident about that, and that you could be grateful for it, especially since not everybody gets that gift every day. Right. That in that moment you could say, what is my assignment today? What is my special assignment? And even if you don't know what that is, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for this moment, this breath, and for whatever that assignment turns out to be. And that's part 2. So just to be in gratitude in that moment for that breath. And the third part, if you're willing to do this, is to put your feet on the floor and take 10 seconds, just 10 seconds. You couldn't get any easier than this, to put your feet on the floor and feel gratitude and appreciation for yourself. This is this moment where you get to embody that self-care and even feel self-love just for 10 seconds.
I was going to say, Adam, like just for 10 seconds, can that be, we can do more, but can that, start filling the container up enough? Because to be honest, until you shared this is something that not very many of us do at all.
No, and
so part 10 seconds worth of it, like, what's that worth?
Why don't people do it, Tasha? They don't do it because they think, how on earth could that one little drop in this big, vast bucket of my life and my responsibilities and maybe even my money challenges or whatever, how could this little drop make a difference? But that's why I'm saying this is called the law of small differences, the butterfly effect. We've all seen it. You just take a bucket, put it outside someplace, and see drop, drop, drop under one of those leaky eaves or under a leaky gutter. And before you know it, come back a few hours later, a day later, and the bucket is filled up and it's overflowing.
Wow.
And that's how we do this. So you put your feet on the floor, you take those 10 seconds, and if you feel like saying it out loud, like to ramp up this practice or this ritual to the next level, you actually declare out loud, even in the presence of your partner, your spouse, your kids, the dog, the cat, the goldfish, you declare out loud, I love my life.
I love my life.
I love my life. I love
my life. Yeah. Wow, Adam. Wow. So that was amazing. My heart overflowing. I'm really full. I'm so grateful that I got to share you with everyone and that you got to share that message with everyone. And what I think I loved about it was we've talked so much, but I never thought of it like that. The 10 seconds and the difference that can make. So I just want to encourage everyone again, self-care equals self-love equals self-trust. And the more you do the first little thing, the self-care, first thing in the morning, that little 10 seconds, start with that. Can you imagine that leads to the universe trusting you more and giving and bringing more prosperity and abundance? That's mind-blowing. It can be. It can start there. That's amazing, Adam. Amazing. Any parting words that you have for everyone? I'm sure you guys are going nuts. You want so much more of him, so I will ask for another time, I promise. And over the way, I just have to say, because I want to share this, in being transparent, that one of the things I look for in a mentor is someone who models what I believe. And Adam got on the call and said, I've had a 3-hour meeting and I went and took a nap. So many times people think, oh, I know for a long time, I thought that was lazy to do that. I thought that was selfish and self-centered and flat out lazy, but it's self-care. Yeah. So parting words, parting thoughts, anything else that you would like to say?
Just to stay on point with this, that it's like our kids. I don't know if everybody has kids. Sometimes when I'll do a training, it's fun because I say, so how many of you have kids, right? How many of you don't have any kids? Okay, cool. How many of you were once a child, right? Everybody, right? It's the heart of it. It's the 100% enrollment thing, right? So kids are interesting because we have 4, my wife and I, Randy, have 4 kids. And I joke when I say this, but it's also true that our kids have never really listened to a word we say. And any parents can funny laugh about that, right? But they watch
Yes.
everything we do. And if you believe in this, that the universe, however you call it, I'm not, nothing religious implied here. But if you think of the universe as this parent, this loving, all loving parent, the most loving parent you could ever imagine is how I envision the universe. Well, then the universe watches everything we do. So it's yakking is fine, it's fine to talk about things, but what you do matters. So if you truly do want to trust yourself so that others will trust you more with their money, with their partnerships, with everything you can imagine in business or in life that you call abundance, is the reflection of how it is that the universe interacts with you and trusts you. So just do things that convey that you trust yourself. So if you say you love yourself, then do something that shows that you love yourself. Like take that time to take care of yourself at the, whatever that looks like, because that small series of events just sort of is the proof in the pudding. It's the expression of it in action versus simply in thought or in words.
Wow. Awesome. I love you. Guys, can you let Adam know you love him, like hearts everywhere? Blow it all up. I love seeing that on Facebook when they just, when they just tons of hearts everywhere. Adam, thank you so much. Thank you. Have a great rest of the day for you. And thanks everyone for watching. We're going to have fun tomorrow. We get money to do a party. So have a good time.
Hello, everybody.
Thanks, Adam. Take care.